Hello and welcome to the introductory recording for ED 5840, Univariate Quantitative Research in Education. My name is John Cannon and I am the instructor for the course. And we'll go ahead and get started with this informational video, informational recording. And it's my goal, right? Provide you with the information on the expectations, assignments for the course, and also to give you an overview of the Canvas website. I have started to put together the Canvas website and we'll be putting it together as we go along this semester. So let me go in and I will share. So I'm sharing the homepage with you. And this is what you'll go into when you get into the class. And here's some introductory information here. Um, I will go, let's go to the syllabus and we'll just start there. And this has been emailed to you. It's available in the announcements. It's also available here on the website. And we'll go ahead. And this is a completely online course. It's at your own pace. Um, There will be virtual office hours. Those will not be intended to be required lecture meetings, but a chance if you have questions about assignments, questions about research, those will be great time in which we can meet. So here we go through it. Here's my contact information. I'm located at the U of I Boise Center in Boise. My email address, that's probably the best way for you to contact me. And I do my best to return emails within 24 hours. And here's my office phone number, but the best way to reach me will be through my email. To convenience, you can read about the vision of the College of Education, Health and Human Sciences, college mission, the conceptual framework, the course description, and here are the prerequisites for the course. Here are the course goals and objectives, and I will let you read through that at your convenience. We've got two required textbooks. The first one is from 2024, Statistics for the Behavioral Sciences. That's the fourth edition. If you struggle to find the fourth edition and can find an earlier one, I'll work with you. We can work with that. And these textbooks are also available through the U of I's Inclusive Access. And then the APA publication manual, the seventh edition. You probably have already purchased this because of other graduate level courses. So it's important that you have that. And I also have a textbook, and this is optional. And there's a new edition that just came out, and it came out since the last time I taught the course back in 2024, and that is how to use SPSS. And all of these books, they are available through what's called the Vandal Bookstores Inclusive Access. And, and I'll show you this here in a little bit on the Canvas site. If you go to My Textbooks Vital source, that will help get you to the textbooks if you're using inclusive access. And the decision to use this inclusive access or to opt out, that is up to you. You do have, you can purchase the hard copies of the textbooks or use other virtual formats. Okay, here's the computer software, internet uh, access requirements. I think most will have the high-speed internet, a broadband internet connection, be able to get on the internet and access all of the things in Canvas. If there's any issues with that, just let me know. Here's another link to the Canvas website. Here's the structure of the course, and it is organized in modules. And it's my goal to provide hands-on learning activities so that you can get in and work with databases to run to analyze data to help give you the practice, give you experience in running stats for quantitative univariate quantitative research that will help you down the road when you are working on your master's thesis or doctoral dissertation. So I've got four planned virtual office hours, and if these dates are not good for you, just contact me, send me an email, and I'll be happy to schedule a Zoom meeting. If you're in the Boise area, southwestern Idaho, I'd be happy to meet with you face to face. There may be a time or two that I'll be in Moscow or northern Idaho, and I can meet you up there if that's more convenient. But I can always get on a Zoom with you. The scheduled meetings are January 26th, February 23rd, and March 30th. And one thing, just as a word of warning, I'm not going to be lecturing. I'm not good at lecturing online. I'm not really good at lecturing in person. So these meetings, these virtual office hours, is an opportunity for you all to ask questions. And again, if you want to visit about your dissertation topic, your research interest, what plans going forward, so that you could get your dissertation or your thesis done in a timely manner. However you want to use that time if you wish to visit with me. There's the contact with if there's any technology issues with the U of I's computer services. And then I have the schedule, and the first module will start first day of class. I'll try and get it open right after I get this recorded. I'll go ahead and record module one, but module one is really designed to be getting started. An orientation for introductions, syllabus, getting the material, exploring the website, um, as far as activities and assignments. I'll have you do the beginning of the course introduction, where you go into the discussion board and tell us who you are. I'll have you provide an identification of your research interest. And this is designed just to see what you're thinking about for a thesis or a dissertation, for what the focus of that will be. And then there will be a module one reflection. And then we'll go get into the textbook, the statistics for the behavioral sciences, and that will start at the end of January, and that will be in module two. And with module two, there will be a reflection. And then there's also, I'll also have you submit your IRB web-based training. And this is a breakdown of the semester, the dates, and suggested dates for completing each of the modules. My recommendation is that you get started here early, get a good start, and follow the suggested dates. And that way, when we get into April, you won't have to be playing catch up. I do give time for the University of Idaho spring break. You can use that to catch up. You can use that to work ahead when we get there. And then we'll get through the end of the semester, and I'll go over the assignments. And the first thing, and this is in the Canvas website, I'll have you go in and introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what your professional or research interests might be, what you hope to gain from this class, what hobbies and leisurely activities do you enjoy. You can share your hobbies if you wish, and there's absolutely no requirement. Share about your families, what you like to do for fun, and I'll be posting mine also. And if you could post an image that represents you. And this could be a picture of you and your family. And again, that is not a requirement. It could be a neat picture you took when you were out on a road trip like I do. when I'm seeing the sites. Just something that represents you. Next thing is identification of a research interest and why. And this is really something that I'd like to be short and to the point, but just throw out an area of research interest and why. I'm looking for a very short paragraph. Um, Maybe your first sentence will identify that research area, that research interest, and then a second or a third paragraph explaining why. I'm not looking for anything more than a short paragraph just explaining, showing what your research interest is and explaining why. This will be due January 25th. Next thing is the city web-based training course. This is for IRB. This is the IRB training. Here's the web link so that you can go in and register for the training. Many of you, and in the past, many of the students have already completed this in their introduction to quant course or one of the other research courses. And so if you've already completed it and you have a valid certificate, please submit that certificate through Canvas. Next thing is module reflection. And for this, um, at, at the conclusion of each module, I'll have you post a reflective commentary. And this is where you'll focus on one or two points of particular interest and just reflecting upon those items. And then part two would be how will you use this for your research activities or in your professional practice. Um, and the due dates for the reflected commentaries aligned with the suggested due dates for each of the modules. And for this, you're not required to respond to another's posting, but feel free to respond to a reflection that is of particular interest. You can feel free to respond to mine, and it would be great if that would generate discussion about the different topics that we'll be going over in quantitative research. There will be two quantitative research assignments. First one will be due around the midterm, March 15th. Second one, May 1st. I taught this course for about 4 or 5 years, and then in 2025, I did not teach it. Then this past fall, they asked me to teach it again, and I'm going to be revising these assignments, these two assignments, to where you're going to be able to work with some databases to run statistics, to make analysis, to make inferences, and to also help you with your academic writing with both of these assignments. In the past, I've assigned questions at the end of chapters, but I think it's better for you to take databases, to take data that I provide in a spreadsheet and determine which uh, statistical test might be the best to run and why, and run your data, analyze it, and then write it up. Give you the experience. Next thing is a quantitative research, article summary. And this is where you will find a research article that is related to your interest, your research interest. You might be to the point where you have developed your research objectives or questions. And this would be an article that may be in your literature review. And I'm looking for you to find an article from a refereed research journal, refereed paper, peer-reviewed paper accepted for presentation at a research conference, a dissertation or a master's thesis that is related to what you're going to be doing that has been successfully defended. Um, I've put together a formal format to frame your paper, to identify the problem and purpose of the study, provide the author's hypothesis or hypotheses and or research questions, research objectives, summarize the theory grounding the study, provide an in-depth summary of the research design, the data collection methods, the subject or participants, identify the key research findings, and provide a critique of the research design and methodology, and then a reference page or a reference section at the end, which is your citation. And 4 pages maximum. It includes the reference list. You do not need to have a cover page, but you do need to have your name on the paper. And all the assignments, you need to put your name on the paper. Every semester I receive papers with people who are the authors don't put their names on it. I know it just sounds weird, but uh, you know what? You need to take credit for what you write. So make sure you got your name on the paper. Thank you. And I'll get off that my high horse on that. You're going to follow APA 7th edition, Times New Roman, nothing other than Times New Roman, 12-point font, double spaced with 1-inch margins all around. Clarity is an expectation. So is correct spelling and grammar, which means that you'll need to proofread the paper. And I'll be upfront with you. I don't care if you use AI as your proofreader. We're our worst proofreaders. If AI is what you use, because at the end of the day, sure, AI, it could actually start by writing a rough draft for you. At the end of the day, you got to take it, you got to put your voice to it. Um, and what you submit will be something that you take ownership with. And also back to AI, use it to proofread if you wish. I I can help proofread. You may want to ask someone else in the course if they want to proofread. Because again, we're our own worst proofreaders. I rarely will submit a paper or submit a paper for a research conference without someone else going over it for me. You'll upload the assignment in Canvas, and I will not accept a PDF or through any online file share program other than Canvas. And this is due on February 15th. So the next two items are the main final projects that will be due toward the end of the semester around May 1st. The first thing is a draft methodology chapter of your dissertation or thesis. And this is a very, very rough draft. And my goal with this is at the end of the class, you've written this rough draft. You will have something that you can work with your major professor to revise it as needed. And you got something to work from for your chapter 3 of your dissertation or your thesis. And I will provide feedback for it. Here are the guidelines again: APA 7th, Times New Roman 12-point font, double spacing with 1-inch margins. Again, clarity is expected and correct spelling and grammar. You're going to upload it in Canvas. And with this, you'll be expected to have a cover page. And the expectation is that cover page will be in the same format that the College of Graduate Studies has, the expectation for a thesis or a dissertation. And if you have any problems finding that information, finding that template, let me know and I'll help you out. There will be an abstract, a summary of not more than 150 years, or excuse me, 50 words. Better not be 150 years. Sorry about that. Then it's going to be your body of the methodology chapter. I will have dissertations available to look at. I've got recent dissertations. I'll have my dissertation. You can look at it to read through and see what the methodology chapter looks like. Then there will be references for each methodology we use, whether it is a statistical analysis whether it's the way we develop our instrument, develop our survey, there should be research literature that supports what you're doing, and that will be expected. This will be due May 1. And so you're gonna have the writing part, then the next part is a presentation. And at the end of the semester, each student will provide a 3-minute thesis format. It'll be in the 3-minute thesis format to provide an explanation of your methodology, just an explanation on oral explanation of your methodology chapter. And again, this is no more than 3 minutes. We used to do 15-minute presentations, but then I discovered the 3-minute thesis format, and I just think that is a better use of your time. And also, it helps you to get practice, experience, develop skills to be concise and to the point with your presentation. You will only get one PowerPoint or visual slide, and that will serve as a supplement. There will be a 5-minute question and answer session, which will follow your presentation. And we'll go through, well, I'll have a rubric so that there will be a peer evaluation, not just by me, but the other students in the course. And when we get into April, we'll determine the dates. And if I'm able to travel to Moscow, we can have face to face. Um, for those in the Boise area, if you want to come into the Boise Center, we can do that face to face. But we'll also have the Zoom links. We'll provide Zoom links to you for those presentations, and it'll probably be over 2 or 3 dates, and I will have signups for those dates. And as we get to the end of the semester, I'll have an open-ended course survey. This is where you get to provide me with feedback and an evaluation of the course. And there will be open-ended questions, and I take these questions and I take your responses, and it helps me to improve the course the next time I teach it. Then there'll also be an end of the course discussion board. And for this, I've got 3 guiding questions. What's the most important thing that you learned in the course? What is your most important unanswered question at the end of the course? And how will you use the knowledge learned and the skills developed to achieve your educational and career goals? And this will be due May 10th, and will not you will not be expected to respond to a classmate's postings, but if you wish, please do. Please do. Then the next thing is participation. And what I would tell you, even though this is an online at your own pace course, the things to earn the participation points is to submit all the assignments in a timely manner, um, be a participant, especially toward the end of the course with the presentations, and and just be a a good classmate, a good learner in the online environment. That's the way to earn the participation points. Um, the best way not to earn them is just get into the semester and then you don't submit assignments. So we'll move on from that, and then May 15th is the absolute last date, May 15th, at midnight is the absolute last time I'll be able to accept assignments. Then I've got other things here you can read through at your convenience. University regulations, um, and other information, university policy. If you have any questions over the syllabus, let me know. If there's anything you're unable to access after I say it's been turned on, let me know. So let's go back to the home page. Um, eh, there will be a link here with course welcome and video. I mean, that's what you're watching now. So by the time you're watching this, you've been able to get into this. Um, just a link to course goals and objectives. Here's another link here on how to get to the syllabus and being able to download the syllabus. There's a page where you get to meet me, and there I am with my information. There's the course textbooks. And again, you've got the two required. It looks like I need to go in and edit this. There's two required statistics for the behavioral sciences, and it's the fourth edition, and then the seventh edition of the APA publication manual, and then the how to use SPSS. And this is optional. It's a good resource if you use SPSS. Since I started teaching this class 5, 6 years ago, there have been some really good online statistic calculators that have come out that I have found that they're more user friendly to use than SPSS. SPSS is probably something as you go along when you start to conduct your dissertation, being able to go in and use SPSS is something that you may decide to do. But I will also tell you some of the databases I've used, some of the big spreadsheets. There's some online calculators that do just as well. And I would tell you, SPSS is not user friendly. And every time I go in to teach this course, I usually take some time to familiarize myself with SPSS. And we'll find and post SPSS activities. Then there'll be a module here for getting started, which I'll be opening it up shortly. And then shortly you will be able to get access to module one. So again, that is the introduction and instruction for ED 5840, Univariate Quantitative Research and Education. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to let me know. Drop me an email. If there's something that when we go through this, when you go through the readings, when you go through the activities that you are struggling with, let me know, and I'd be happy to meet with you, meet on one of the virtual office hour days or at another time, and we can go through it and help you get the information so that you can move forward. Again, thank you for taking the course. Greatly appreciate it. And I will talk to you when I put up the getting started in the module one instructions. Take care.